I'm sure you feel the same to some degree. Building this whole thing out to the point of success is like a massive emotional roller coaster. Some days it's like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I got a real positive feeling about this. We're going to get this done. And other days I just feel totally stuck, hopeless. Like, what am I even doing?
Yeah, bro, for 11 months, I was like that. And then I realized what I'm doing is I keep fucking building stuff for no reason when I should just go and sell this.
I think like part of my problem is I've come to this conclusion that only aware of what I'm aware of is capable and high level. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, it can do this up to this point. People outside of this area of specificity are not looking for what I can do, but maybe they are because I just don't know better. You know what I mean? That's kind of the reason why I wanted to chat, because I just feel like a little bit stuck. I feel like I know what I've got to do. I just don't have the guts or the brains to just like do it effectively, right? So I'm kind of stuck in this perpetual state of, I know I need to be doing outreach, but how do I do that effectively? So today I was looking into like, okay, I got to be doing some sort of outreach, just talking to people in my network, getting referrals. That can take months. You know, people are interested, and I just need to be more proactive. So I'm like, okay, I got to at least start doing some sort of cold email outreach. I got to get a list together and just start doing that. So I was looking into how to build a proper email outreach list, but then I started thinking like, who am I really targeting? You know, is like the commercial residential services a good path? There's so many other industries that could be super high ticket. I just feel super stuck sometimes.
My thought process is always this: how do I and I learned this from like Adam and Brendan and myself too, just from like my previous businesses. You know, I had an Airbnb business for 10 years and all I did was collect money from it. I didn't do anything. I hired a girl to manage the property. You know, I was living in Mexico for 5 years and I never even went back to the house, and I was just making money. And so I always think in that way of like, how do I make a machine that's gonna forever run in the background and not pull me back, right? And then what I think about that is like, okay, that's gonna take me, it might take me a week, but it's gonna last for 10 months or 20 months. And all I have to do is go and adjust it to like build the system out and adjust it. It's the same way that we work inside Go High Level. It's like, I hate putting together proposals, and I sat down with Brandon and I'm like, bro, teach me how to do this where I could just click a button. Yeah, it took us a little bit of time, but now that situation, whenever I have to do a proposal, I literally just click a button there and send. I used to type it all out, put in their address, do all of this, do all of that. So there's systems, right? So for the email marketing campaign, then the other thing that I do is I focus on who in the industry or where in the world would I find someone that has already done this successfully where I don't have to learn it. Like I might have to do the work, but I want best practices. I want someone that knows how to do results or gets results from what they did. And then how do I mimic that inside my like world? So there's a guy named Lead Gen J on YouTube.
Yeah, I watched that video that you shared of his email thing. I know it's long, and you took notes.
It's 4 hours long. And that took me like maybe 2 weeks to hone it in, where it pulled me away from being able to go out and sell, right? Mm-hmm. And so I didn't necessarily have to do it myself. So I hired him to do it. Now I'm friends with him. I talk to him all the time. We text back and forth, and he set it up for me. I did real estate agents, insurance agents, and now I'm at a point where I'm just scraping as much data as I can from Google, because it's a numbers game at that point. And then you just look and you talk to ChatGPT and you figure out, okay, what are the emails that are going to resonate with these people? So you have to take a second and step back and like, what are the real problems? Forget about Go High Level, forget about ChatGPT, forget about the AI inside Go High Level, and really hone in on what are the problems that these people have, but they don't even see it as a problem, right? And so, for instance, like a real estate agent, one of their problems is, how often do you spend a shit ton of time on generating a contract? I'm making this up. I don't know if they do that. But how much time does it take you to generate a contract, and then you go to sell it and it doesn't fall through because they couldn't get the loan from the bank, right? Well, you spent maybe 2 hours doing that, and it's happened out of 10 times, maybe 3. So you now spent 6 hours doing that. What if I show you a proper system that you do this one time and it takes you 25 seconds to put together an entire contract? And that's one of the emails. And the next thing is like, how often are you on a tour with someone and you miss a phone call, but you know you got to call them back? You don't want to be disrespectful to the client that you're on the tour with because that's where your money is coming in. So you can't just take a step back from doing a tour with somebody that's about to buy a property and then you have a missed call and you need to answer that call to talk to them to set up the next meeting for tomorrow. What if I showed you a system, the missed call text back with the Core 4 AI? You don't tell them that.
No.
That's what you have on the conversation. The goal of the email is literally just to get them interested, to reply, or just schedule a call with you.
So are you hitting them with a pain point in that first email?
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. So let me pull something up.
So Nick, these custom builds that you've done recently, all these clients that you're currently working with, were they generated from a cold email campaign? Is that how you acquire?
Again, it's a combination that, like going to LinkedIn. So like it's definitely cold email, but it's, you can have like one email sequence that will hit a lot of different businesses, because at the end of the day, all the businesses are the same. They have leads coming in, they can't manage them, they can't keep up with them. So you just make a little bit of an adjustment in that explanation or whatever. So let me show you.
So you're presenting a similar pain point, like let's say you're going after realtors, you're picking a common pain point and then sending that out as an email to X amount of realtors with the same pain point.
Yeah. And then you're hitting up thousands of people. A while back, Zaps Unlimited, remember Zaps Unlimited?
Mm-hmm.
I found all their emails from everybody that had Zaps Unlimited account. And I figured all these people, they're using Zaps Unlimited, so they must have a business. And so this was the email that I was sending out. So I figured that majority of them know what go level is, because what are you using Zaps Unlimited for? Either that or Make or Monday.com or something.
Mm-hmm.
I create like a series of emails, right? This one goes out, then the next one goes out 2 days later, then the next one 1 day later, then the fourth one, and then I never did anything there. So what I would do is really that's your machine, right? So instantly the cold outreach emails is a machine, and you can make different sequences.
Yeah. So on that note, Nick, yesterday and this morning, I spent a substantial amount of time of my morning reaching out to and just reading some profiles on Upwork, like guys who essentially do what you just did with Lead Gen J. I don't know how to build out a cold email machine sequence effectively. They charge an upfront cost. They'll build the back-end system, jump on a call, show you how to use it, and get me essentially to where you are. So that's sort of the path
That's exactly what I did with Lead Gen J. I gave you the link for that in one of the documents. It cost $27.
Does that include him buying the domains for you, warming them up, and getting everything prepped? How does, I don't know what's included.
It includes the warm up. It doesn't include the domain. So what I did was I just went to Namecheap. I went to Namecheap, and then I typed in, custombuildcrm.com, right? I click search, see if it's available. So maybe come the generator. I don't remember how I did this.
This is one of the prime ways that you are doing outreach and generating business. It's having a cold machine.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so I came in here and I found the cheapest ones, 98 cents.
Yeah. You don't want those ones that are $45 a year.
Yeah, exactly. So I just figured get the cheapest ones. I think I spent $20 on them. And I went into ChatGPT and just asked give me domain ideas. And I found, a bunch of them. 0 point. I can't even put a point there, but you could put $1.
So you said this is one of the outlets that you're using to generate leads, getting on calls. What other
Well, then this is the machine. So now you can just feed the machine. So what I do is you go to LinkedIn, and you would type in An easy one, bro. I haven't done this, but I was thinking about this the other day, is like go in here and type in automation specialist, right? In jobs. And bro, right here, so you have a marketing automation specialist, remote, right? So you come here and like CRM, right? 3 to 5 years experience, CRM, ClickFunnels, WordPress, everything right here, right? And so now go around, find Awesomely, go here. Now you come here and you go to people, and then, you click this guy's name, right? Open link in your tab. You download the Apollo app. You see this thing on the side of my screen? So now
you like the extension. There's some sort of Apollo.
Here it is. Okay, so now I have the CEO's phone number, the CEO's email address, right? But I come here and I'll click and open it. And so this is free. So you go to the 22 employees, and then you try to figure out, okay, who's going to be the one that is hiring here? You'd have vice president, like you get his email address, right? So now you have Adrian's email address right here, Adrian's email. And you come into Instantly, and you have all of your different campaigns here. So like, let's say this campaign is going to only be for automation specialists. So you'd go through all of this and you just find this is $500 to $3,000 a month. Like literally, you told me when we were in Los Angeles, you didn't necessarily want to, or you didn't have the desire to sell all the time, maybe just have a few clients. Like this is perfect for you, where they're going to pay between $500 to $3,000 a month. You have a project automation and CRM specialist, and they're using Airtable, Make, all this stuff. And here you go, send a brief cover letter to this guy. And so now you have this email address, and then you just keep feeding it into Instantly. So then you just go here, you type in leads, and you hit add leads. Now, before that, I think I showed you in the video yesterday, you have to verify the emails, your million verifier. And so each one of these campaigns is basically going to be each one. So this one might be automation specialist, right? So then you find this person, you find this company's or whatever, like this is 72 HubSpot automation specialist, marketing automation specialist. Here's a contract role. So the emails are going to be like, hey, I saw that you were, offering this automation specialist job, and you're, it's a salary paid position or whatever. And like, you can go salary, like minimum 80 grand, right? 228 people are going to pay 8 grand for this, right? And so now your email is like, hey, I know that you guys are hiring for $80,000 position. I have an entire team, and you can play around with it, because you'll have to see what the numbers are, who replies, things like that. It's going to take some time
for sure.
And there's ways that, like, if you're going to hire somebody, I would hire somebody to do LinkedIn scraping, because there's a way to do LinkedIn scraping. I'm just doing it manually, which that's probably going to be my next thing. Like a digital content automation specialist.
Do you go on Upwork or Fiverr to find people to do these things too? Like I've hired people from Upwork with success.
Yeah, I have somebody building a scraper for me right now.
So you would essentially outsource what you're showing me right here to do the LinkedIn data collection. This is just what you're doing in the meantime.
But the thing is you have either time or you have money, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if this is going to work to its best capability. So I'm going to do this myself, let it run for maybe 1,000 emails, see what the traction is. And if I'm getting good results, then I'm going to go and pay somebody to help me build this machine in a scalable way, right? Because if I spend $600 on a scraper or someone to do this and it doesn't work, now I'm out $600. If you have the cash to pay $600 and play around with it without knowing it, then yeah, spend $600. You'll have it done in 2 weeks and you didn't have to do anything. But for me, it's like, before I throw all my eggs in one basket, let me double check on that and see. But I mean, this is what I'm doing, and it's really not that hard. Like I said, like this is why I have this little thing right here. I'll go here, I'll click on people, and then I'll find like director of operational excellence. Like I'd find somebody in probably like HR or something like that, right? Like the registered nurse, like recruiter. Here we go. Open LinkedIn tab. this is Central California Alliance for Health. So make sure that his job, he's a recruiter, Central California Alliance for Health. Click on this. He doesn't have an email address, but I can go here and now I can figure out the pattern to what it is. Sometimes it's like first name dot last name. So I can click on the employees and I can go, okay, let's see what this person's email is. So his name is Cecil. So C Newton at CCH, right? So now we know his first initial last name. Application manager. This should be K something. K or Alana. Okay. So now we're finding a pattern. And so my guess is that this guy's email is Chi at whatever that was. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. So you're picking who's the likely decision maker or will get you to the next step. You obviously don't
look, I mean, like a service desk technician is not going to help me get a job. A director of quality and population health is not going to get me a job. A business analyst, no, it's probably going to be, I mean, there's 377 people here. So you can open the filter, you can go to their job titles, and then you can click like, they're probably going to be a manager, maybe a director, right? So now I narrowed it down 300 to 100. And now it's like, management, human resources director, right? Lisa. So Lisa is going to be LC. So now we pretty much confirmed that it's first initial last name at this. So like this is someone that I would copy your email address, put it in a spreadsheet, run it through Million Verifier to protect your Instantly account, upload only the good ones. So like Million Verifier. I'd come this way, dude. I'd come here, and then
I know there's other ones. Like there's tons of websites. Like
you only want to use this one, bro. I mean, and the reason Lead Gen J says that this is the best one. He's spent millions of dollars, and this is the most accurate, up to date one. So like, see, I gather basically 65 emails right here. You only download the good ones. So you download the good emails, and then you upload them and put them into that sequence inside here. Right. So like this would be in this situation, you'd have automation specialists, and it would be like now figure out the pain points, right? So the pain points could be, I saw you're hiring on LinkedIn for an automation specialist, and notice that you have a lot of applicants, you know, blah, blah, blah. And this is where you can get into it. Like you know, you're looking to pay 71 to 125,000. Have you thought about outsourcing this? I have a team of 50 people that we build custom AI, and we do this. We have digital communication strategies. We automate everything. Is there someone in your team, you know, that can do this, that would want to take a meeting? I have a bachelor's degree. There's automation with various platforms. Your description is pretty vague. What platforms are you using? What CRM solutions are you looking for? Because this is what we do. We integrate AI into your CRM solutions, right? So you're not trying to sell yourself to get the job. You're trying to, hey, why are you guys hiring this? You're like, your shit here is like very vague. And on top of that, the reason why I did not apply in LinkedIn is because this is fully automated for me to help assist myself in getting clients. And no other applicant is doing this. I'm not looking to apply for the job. I'm looking to, you know what I mean? Like, you can use that route, like get creative. Like this is on autopilot, respond yes, and we can have a meeting. This is my way of showing you that I have automated CRM solutions using AI. So now they're going to read that, and you might send 600 emails, and you might only get 2 people that have a meeting. Well, look at what that's valued at, between 71,000 and 125 grand a year. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I know that these guys are going to pay $81,000 to $140,000 a year. I could maybe even help them lower that if they just work with me and they just hire me as like a 1099 remote. Like this is hybrid, you know, and so like this is remote. I mean, that sounds crazy, bro. A building automation specialist, $100,000 to $140,000, like 3 years. That's all they want. This is the hiring team. So then you just click on his name, find him. I mean, these are where the companies are that have money that you're not battling. They're already looking for it. So if you're putting yourself right in front of them where they're already looking, now it's just a numbers game.
How else would you expand that search? Like you typed in automation specialist. Well, like I'm not super familiar with LinkedIn. Like how would you broaden that search to a different
business development, like manager of business strategy? So
I think part of my problem is I've come to this conclusion that I'm only aware of when I'm aware aware of is capable and high level. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, it can do this up to this point. People outside of this area of specificity are not looking for what I can do, but maybe they are because I just don't know better. You know what I mean?
Well, that's exactly what needs to happen is you should not be making any emotional decisions. And what I mean by that is not like you get upset, but it's like if you don't know, go and sit down with ChatGPT and have a real on conversation. On the app on your phone, you can open up the app and you can sit there and you can talk to ChatGPT in a real conversation. It will talk back to you on the new download, and you can tell them exactly what you said. Like, look, I have these solutions. I'm trying to build this out, but I don't know. I don't know. And I was on a call with my buddy Nick, and he was telling me that I should go to LinkedIn and have a strategy and be able to, find new leads for me to go and sell to. One of the strategies said was go to LinkedIn and type in automation specialist, because one, they have money that they're actually advertising to hire a person, to come through and hire them. Pay them anywhere between $70,000 to $135,000. And I want to be able to tap into that market. And my strategy is what I want to do is I want to send out cold email. EGenJ has taught me how to do that. I have that pretty much figured out, but I need your help in figuring out the pain points that I can put inside an email. Can I hire you as my chief technical officer to help me build a strategy so that I can now shift away from my own thinking and make data-driven decisions based on what people actually need and want? And then before we get started, I want you to ask me a shit ton of questions so that I can give you I can help you understand what we do so you can position this to the right people. That's exactly what you should do. And now you just have a conversation back and forth with ChatGPT.
Nick, would you explain it though in that verbal prompt that you're working in and out of the Go High Level platform so it knows?
100%.
Yeah.
And so now what's going to happen is it's going to respond to you and it's going to ask you questions. And it might actually say like, okay, give me an example of a job description. So like you just copy and paste this. Look, I mean, this is a perfect one. Wow.
So you're using LinkedIn primarily as your source of leads?
I use all of them. I use LinkedIn, Upwork, Facebook, the groups. I use YouTube comments. So like you go to YouTube, you type in best CRM system for small businesses. You find one that has a bunch of fucking views. Best CRM software, right? So you come here, you have 196 potential clients right here. Started in Notion, my foundation straightened out, synced it to Airtable, now imported in Copper and two-way synced into Airtable. He's doing all kinds of stuff. So now you try to find who this person is.
Like you're not responding to the comments and hoping that they reply back.
You can make a landing page and you can be like, hey, I saw you commented here. This is what I have or whatever. Like this one, you probably could. As always, a very clear and informative video. So you could click on here, you come here. This guy probably has some sort of videos. I mean, he has all kinds of tech stuff. So like he teaches tech and productivity. So like you could go to his website. You could be like, hey bro, I saw that you have 1,800 subscribers. Like figure out his shit right here on his Instagram. You could send him an email. Dude, how are you staying super organized? I saw your comment on a CRM video on YouTube and you're into school, whatever. Why do you not have AI on your website? Like this guy is definitely more qualified to have a conversation with you because he teaches tech and productivity. Like you could even be like, bro, can I be on your podcast?
So this is like a really guerrilla approach to marketing and outreach.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to figure out where do these people sit and hang out? Like why am I trying to convince people that they should work with me when there's people out there that are looking for me and I just need to plot myself right in front of them? Like question, I run an apartment leasing team. One reason I use custom solutions on Airtable is I can contract, right? It's like, bro, let's schedule a call, dude. I built all this stuff custom inside whatever, inside Go High Level, right? And so, I mean, you could probably find this guy. So like now you have his email address and he just commented 3 days ago on this. And you'd be like, hey bro, I saw, look, and now go to his website. Okay. So you email him, hey bro, your website's not working. Like you need a new website? I saw you commented this 3 days ago. You run an apartment complex. I can show you like this guy literally needs a custom built software right now, 3 days ago for his apartment rental complex. And he has an email. So now you build out your instantly campaign. So this one is going to be like YouTube, CRM, comments. And if you get that guy's email address, you just upload it into here and you write out the sequence. And it's very general, right? It's like, hey, I saw your comment on a CRM on YouTube and it looks like you need some help. I noticed that you don't have AI on your website. Like, because you're going to run into other people that don't have the same question. Which of these syncs, like,
You're not starting a new campaign for every person, are you? Is like a campaign targeted at a certain group of people with a common problem, or do you start a new campaign for individual people
no, not individual people, it's groups of people. So if I'm searching for best CRM for small businesses on YouTube, that campaign is going to be YouTube best CRM for small businesses. And everybody that I find from there, because I'm not going to send the same email that I would to this guy for hiring a business development representative or an automation specialist.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a different campaign. But now you can start to spend your time focusing, scraping, and getting people who literally, like this guy, who one doesn't have a website that works, and you don't even need to send them all in instantly. Like you could just send this guy a personal email and be like, hey bro, take a screenshot of it. Saw your comment on what's it called, was wondering why your website doesn't, and why you're using Airtable when Go High Level can do this. You want to take a call? I could show you, we can talk and see what's up. That's it. That's it. You don't have to say anything more. And he probably would be like, yeah. And then in 3 days, if he doesn't respond, you're just like, yo bro, 3 days ago, you were asking on this YouTube channel, do you need help? See? What's the best CRM to integrate WhatsApp interactions into the contact detail page to interact directly from inside the CRM using WhatsApp? Dude, I build fucking custom AI that integrates into WhatsApp. You want to jump on a call? You can comment on this stuff and put your website so that people can go and look at it and it stays there forever. Like someone might look at this reply and now you're building like real estate. If someone goes and watches this video in a year from now, I mean, it's getting 29,000 views. In 2 years from now, this might have 75,000 views. And, you know, your comment is still there with your website.
I'm sure you feel the same to some degree. Building this whole thing out to the point of success is like a massive emotional roller coaster. Some days it's like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I got a real positive feeling about this. We're going to get this done. And other days I just feel totally stuck, hopeless. Like, what am I even doing?
Yeah, bro, for 11 months, I was like that. And then I realized what I'm doing, it's like keep fucking building stuff for no reason when I should just go and sell this. And then once I started focusing on like, where are these people hanging out at? Where do I find these people? It's like there. I mean, this guy, Alex Hormozy, bro, watch every single thing that this guy puts out. Like, I'm not like teaching anything that's not already been out there. Maybe this strategy, I don't know. I've never seen this strategy before, but you know, it legit is just don't try to battle to sell what you have. Go and find the people that already want what you have. And you're just giving them an option of either go with me or go with somebody else. Cause I already know that you're going to buy something. So that's really when I started to think like this after we went to LA. Cause I was like, man, my problem is I'm trying to build all this shit because Go High Level is so cool, but I just need to just figure out what the problem is and then just put the solution to their problem right in front of them and do it that way.
Do I keep my first initial outreach local, like to Canada? Because A2P is not required here, just to, you know, eliminate that.
Oh, bro, don't think like that. Go and sell this to big companies that A2P, don't worry about that.
And when you're saying sell this, you're selling them on a custom solution. That initial conversation to break the ice and whatever, build rapport is finding out what they need, selling them on that second call where you map out their customer journey and provide them with that project scope document. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So today, a buddy of mine that's in my entrepreneurial group, he called me this morning and he was like, yo, bro, what's up, man? How are you? He makes a lot of money every month. He has his own agency and he does like Facebook ads. And he called me and he was like, yo, bro, I know you know how to do Go High Level stuff. Like, you know, I have this agency. And I'm like, yeah, tell me what's up. And he's like, you know, I don't know. Like, I know that you know how to do the AI stuff. What does that look like? And I was like, well, I could tell you, or you could just tell me how you run your business. And I stopped him. I'm like, but before we get started, this is a random phone call, bro. It wasn't even supposed to be a meeting. Tell me a little bit about what you do and why you even called me. I have a bunch of leads and we do this, and we do that, we do this, and we do this. And then I have to like baby my team and I have to do this and that and the other thing. Okay. I was like, do you have 45 minutes? Let's just sit down and go through your customer journey pipeline and see if I can help fix it. But he was like, all right, yeah, I got 45 minutes. So I said, look, usually I'd charge $250 for this. I mean, you're my buddy, so it is what it is. So we just went through. I was like, all right, cool. So what happens? You get a new lead. Where do they come from? And he's like, they come from here. They come from Facebook or my website. I'm like, all right, then what happens? I'm like, what's the goal of getting the new lead? Do you call them? Do you do this? He's like, yeah, that's my problem. Like, I have to call them. I got to like hunt them down, but I know that we could probably put the AI in there. And I'm like, okay, so what's the main goal? He's like, well, I want to bring them to every Thursday. I have a workshop. And I'm like, all right, how often is it when I'm just asking questions? How often do you get a lead? They sign up to go to the workshop, but they don't show up to the workshop. And he's like, yeah, that happens all the time. And I paid for that lead. So I have to go back and I have to try to get them back there. I'm like, okay, do you ever send them a replay? And he's like, no. I'm like, all right, so why wouldn't you take your best recording of your workshop and then the people that don't attend send a recording? And he's like, or to a landing page with the recording. And he's like, oh, that's a good idea. I said, yeah, what happens if someone can't make it on Thursdays? They can only do it on Wednesdays because they're busy. He's like, yeah. So I said, okay. So we got that figured out. The AI can do that. And then I'm like, what happens after the workshop? And he's like, well, then they schedule a one-on-one call with me because I have to basically go through onboarding with them. Like, okay. So sometimes they don't show up, right? And he's like, yeah, sometimes they don't show up. Okay, the AI can do that. So then they book the call. And then what happens after that? He's like, well, that's when I just send them the agreement. And now it's a manual process. I'm like, okay. So then we went through the workflow. Okay, 001, it comes from the Facebook. What needs to happen? AI qualifies. I didn't say anything about go high level. I didn't say anything about it. And I said, listen, I don't even know what this is going to cost. It could cost maybe like in between $5,000 and $6,000. He's like, dude, I don't care. This is what I need. This fixes everything. And I'm like, okay. And so I sent this to Adam and Brendan. I recorded the video. The video's right here. And then I just put the entire transcript right here for them to put it in ChatGPT if they need to. And that was like a mistake. I didn't even do anything, but I took control of the call right away. Didn't say anything about anything that I know how to build. Like I didn't talk about anything in regards to Go High Level. He uses Go High Level, so he knows it, but it was just about the client pipeline and the workflow that goes with each stage of the pipeline. And then I told him, all right, bro, let me put this together and that'll give me a price. And he's like, yeah, dude, can you have it to me like tomorrow? I'm like, no, bro, I can't do it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday.
Interesting. So once you've mapped that pipeline out, the customer journey, then you go through each stage with him on the phone, on the call, whatever, of what needs to happen in each of those 8 stages.
Yeah. And then at the end of the document, I'm like, oh, by the way, this costs $8,500. Either you can work with me and I can build all the stuff that we just talked about, or you can take this document and you can go find somebody else to build it, but they're probably not going to build it the same way that we would. And they're like, okay, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's just getting out of that thought pattern I have of like not knowing what to do as far as outreach. But I think first thing for me is getting a cold email system in place. So I'm actively doing outreach in some capacity.
Yeah. And then at that point, now you just search for a bunch of fucking emails.
Yeah, that was my next question. So when you have your cold email machine built, where are you getting the emails from? Are you scraping them manually or do you?
Oh, there's one like this one.
Yeah, I've seen Lead Sniper before. I've never used it.
If it's the local places, you can just use that. If not, and you want to do it on LinkedIn, like again, focus where the money's at. So like if these jobs are paying $80,000 to $100,000 a year, bro, I would spend all my time in that of sending out 2,000 emails and landing 2 meetings and getting hired by one for $150,000 a year. Like that's worth it 100%. All you need is just one company rather than like a little, mom and pop roofing business that's like struggling to pay you $500 a month. You know what I mean?
I wanted to build a lifestyle business. I'm not looking to build a Fortune 500 AI automation company. I just want something that, I start off in the early years, putting in the time, and then in 3 to 5 years from now, I barely do anything and it generating me 10, 15K a month profit. You know what I mean? I don't even have to think about it.
You can do that in like a year. It's just about building
I
these.
just don't know how. That's the thing. I don't know, like, anytime I've ever ventured into something like this or an opportunity where there's money to be made, I'll admit that I need hand holding because I'm not naturally just good at this stuff. That's why I like talking to people like you, Kenzel, like other people that I've met in the group outside of the normal calls, because you guys are proactively doing stuff and getting results. And I thrive off that. And I love the fact that you jump on these calls just impromptu and share your wisdom. That's sort of where I need to, figure some of this stuff out, is from people who are actually doing it. So you say, yeah, there's a team like in a year. I just don't know how to, like, what's the next step? What do I do tomorrow? What do I do after I get off this call? You know what I mean?
All right. So here's the outline. After you get off this call, you go to that video, in my YouTube channel.
I watched it this morning. I'll watch it again. I usually watch these things 2 or 3 times, honestly, before.
Well, this Google document
Yeah.
has, what I'm going to show you is this. Have him set this up for $27. It's going to cost you a little bit of money. It costs $27 for him to set it up.
That's nothing.
Then it costs $37 a month for Instantly. And then he makes the reason why he can do this so cheap is because he gets a commission from Instantly for this. And then each mailbox is $3. So I have 30 mailboxes, and so I pay another 90. So in total, I probably pay like $149 to $160 a month. But then I look at it like this: $160 a month to send out 1,000 emails a day. That would take me forever. That's worth $160, and it's on autopilot. So now your next job is to just go and find all the emails here and with Apollo, and then copy and paste them. Look, I'll show you what I do. I have.
Nick, do you think it'd be worth the time to build a good email list first, paying money?
Well, the thing is this takes 28 days to set up. So
Yeah.
you need to warm it up. So get this set up, and then yes, start making the email list in those 28 days. Start segmenting them, so keep them organized.
What's your opinion on people who specialize in this sort of stuff, like building email lists for people? Like,
I'm pretty particular about it. I only work with people like Lead Gen J or Adam and Brendan. So then look, like now I just segment these lists out. So these are all me doing this manually. I go through, and then every day I'll try to get, like, the other night I got I sat there for hours. I did 177, which is fine. And then now I have somebody that's building a scraper for me specifically from Upwork, and I'll end up like being able to monetize that and automate it because I know that it's working. For 600 emails, I got 2 meetings and I sold 1. So now it's just the numbers game. For 1,200 emails, I'll sell 2. For, another 1,800 emails, I'll sell 3. And it's costing me $197 a month to do that. So now I'll just keep doing that.
When you say $197 a month, that's the Lead Gen J subscription you have, like, to run your Instantly.
Or yeah, I don't really know, honestly.
But you also pay for Apollo, right? You pay for Lead Sniper. You pay for all these.
Lead Sniper is $120. Oh, this is why, because I get 25,000 uploaded contacts. Like, let's see, if I wanted to get 50,000, then that's an extra $87. But it's all proportional. At this point, like, if I could get 1 million emails a month and pay $675, I don't care that it cost me $675, because I know that I'm going to get like 65 meetings and sell 20 things and make, $67,000 a month or whatever it is.
So you're, like you told me before, like a couple of weeks back, you take this consultative selling approach.
Mm-hmm.
I stuck in my head of thinking like, okay, if they've got this problem, how do we solve it in high level? If they need to do this, can we solve this in high level? You know what I mean? I get stuck in my head with those little details.
Just let Adam and Brendan figure that out.
Yeah.
So on the calls, you just go through and you document what they want to do. And you just make that document like I showed you, like here. So for a financial institution, they want to connect the API to Charles Schwab. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like, they want to be from point A to point Z. Everything that happens in between is not my job to figure that out. That's Adam and Brendan's job to figure that out. So I can still tell the client, yeah, we could do that. It might not be the way that you think, or I think, or the client thinks how it will be done, but the end result will still be the same. We might have to connect 3 or 4 systems, or if they're spending 85% of their time doing that manual process, we can reduce that to they're only spending 15% of their time to that. So that's still a win in the client's eyes. It might not be able to be fully automated, but now you don't have to figure that out. You're just documenting, okay, this is what needs to happen. And when they do this, this needs to happen. Okay, cool. Let Adam and Brendan figure that out. So you don't need to be caught up in there. So you don't have to get caught up in the weeds, but you can have an idea to tell the client, like, look, my team, we could build custom API coding using PHP coding or whatever the hell it is. What you think or what I think, how it will happen, it might not necessarily be the best way. There might actually be a better way once we sit down and we go through it. The purpose of this call is just to document what needs to be done. And then from there, if we decide to work together, then we will sit down with you and go through a very detailed approach on how this is actually going to be structured and work for your business. This is really just to see what you need and how we can build it. And that's what you're paying for. So don't get caught up in the weeds of, because this is what I used to do. I would have a conversation and I would sit there and think, how would I do this in go ahead level? And I would use my brain. Okay, we're going to make this, we're going to add this, we're going to do this. So I need to talk them into that, so that I can try to convince them this is the way that we're going to do it, even though that's not the way that they want to do. And then it would just turn into a bad, I don't know. I'm not interested. Like, that's not how we would do it. We already have this system that does that. And I don't want to break that. I don't want to move away from it because they're getting scared. Now you're like trying to go in and change their whole business in their mind. Mm-hmm. But then when you just ask them to tell you, it's like, okay, let me document it and then let me bring this back to you and I'll tell you how it's going to flow and how it will work and how it will go through. So I have a medical clinic. They have an EMR system. It's an electronic medical records system.
Yeah.
They were like, well, we do this, that, and the other thing. And in the first 3 calls, they were like, oh, we got this. Brendan came in and they're like, wait, you're telling me that we can get rid of this EMR and Go High Level will be able to do this? I never said anything, but I wasn't going to let that hinder me from getting the sale because we still could connect it to the EMR system. But then later on, they were like, okay, we trust these guys. And yeah, this actually could work. And so when we started discussing that, they were like, oh my God, this is way better. Yeah, I didn't know we could get rid of this.
He had a simple call with my buddy. He's a optometrist and they have some EMR equipment there. It was all this data stuff. They have a CRM. He says he hates it, but they need it because it has certain things. And I was like, I have no idea. Is it possible? Some of those CRMs need an API, right?
Yeah, but if you tell them that you have no idea, you just went from expert to nobody. So, but you can talk confidently on it and be like, yeah, we can totally connect that. We live in 2024. We can either reduce it and make it a human takeover situation where you're probably spending 85% of your time in this stupid system and you absolutely hate it, to where we can minimize that to where you're only spending 10%. I can connect you with my developer who would actually have a lot more information than I do. But my job is to see what your goals and aspirations and what outcomes I can provide for your business. But let's not get caught up in the weeds on the EMR system. We can get that. We can get to that when it's time. Let's go through your journey. So it might not run fully operational, 100% automate, but we could get it to 75%. Mr. Client, imagine having 75% of your time back. And they'd be like, 75%? Holy shit. I could go play golf. I could ride my motorcycle. I could travel. I could take my kids to the movies. I could do all kinds of stuff. So at that point, it doesn't need to be anything about what you know how to do or what you don't know how to do. You can tell them that, yeah, we're building this custom for you. That's why you're deciding to work with me. You've been working with other systems and they're not working.
So when you, I know that question might come up a lot. We're currently using this CRM or this medical platform, and there is a connection required. And I've asked this on the back end with Alex and Brendan and stuff. And sometimes it can't be connected because yes, the software that the clinic is using or whatever has to have an API connection in order for the automations in high level to function properly. Do you know what I mean? How do you overcome that?
For instance, I have 3 clients that have this situation, right? So one of them, he's an ophthalmologist as well. And so they have an EMR system and he needs to pay $2,000 just to get access to the API. And I'm waiting to hear back from him. He said mid-October, he'll get back to me, but he really liked what I presented to him. He was like, how would we be able to do that? And I said, personally, I don't know unless you do pay the $2,000 to get access to that. Or we can create another flow to where you're getting that information and we use something like Zapier where it would connect to there. And if not, again, 85% of your time is spent in there, we can reduce it by a certain amount, which there's going to be a human takeover. We might not be able to fully automate it. Then we had another one. One of them is a financial advisor, and they use Charles Schwab. And he was like, I don't know if they would allow us, because I'm kind of under a franchise and it's not my license, it's my partner's license. And if he tries to charge me to use his API connection, then that could be an issue. And I said, okay, well, how are these people like getting into the system? And he's like, they sign DocuSign. And I'm like, okay, so we might not even need to use the API. We can just, when the DocuSign is completed, we know that is completed. So the same thing, we can even do it even simpler without having an API integration. And you just have a Zapier integration to a signed document, because once they sign it, it's the same as using the API. But the API, you're saying, you might have to pay your partner for it. So there's different ways of still accessing or still triggering the workflow from different things that they are using in their business. So and Mr. Client, we're not going to get into that until we do a detailed scope. This document that I'm building right now is a 30,000 foot approach, and it's going to help me give you a price and what the flow of everything is going to be. If you and I decide to work together and you want to move forward with us building out this custom solution for you, then you're going to meet with my project manager, Brendan, who actually manages 4 other project managers, because we're growing and lots of people want to work with us because we provide custom solutions for businesses. And so at that point, now you've deferred it, but it doesn't matter, because we can always figure out a way that's going to work. Like we're building, one project scope that we did, not a detail, but the overview, the first one was like 6 pages. As of today, that document is over 300 pages. Nick worked on it. That document is 300 pages long, bro. When I talked to this girl, I just talked high level about it. When I look at this document, I'm like, holy shit, I have no idea how to do that and go high level. But I was able to sell it because I told her, listen, if we decide to work together, you're going to have an entire team that's working with you on being able to do this. And so, that's how I would overcome it. Don't get caught up in the weeds. Like, you are the professional. Don't ever tell them that you don't know how. Tell them, we do know how to do this. There's always a workaround for it. And if there's not, we can reduce the amount of time, energy, and money in that process by a fraction by organizing it properly. And we might be able to find other solutions for the way that you want the outcome. Because from A to Z is the outcome, A is the input. All the bullshit in between, that's our job. That's what you're hiring us to do. You don't need to know how to do that. Me as a sales rep, I don't need to know how to do that. If I did, I would not be able to go out and sell 10 a month, because I would be sitting there trying to figure out how to do this.
Mm-hmm. So when you have that first call, someone books a call with you, or however you jump on that call, you're just assessing, you're getting information, learning their pain points, and assessing, deciding, yes, I can help this person or this business, or B, I don't think we're a good fit. I think what you're looking for is out of the scope of what I can provide. That's the goal.
The goal on the first call is to get them to pay $150 or $250 for me to see if I can help them. So I don't even think about selling them go high level. I think, what's your problem? What's your pain point right now? Let them talk. And every single time I say, okay, cool, I charge $250 to make this happen. What we're going to do is we're going to build out a document. We're going to take everything in your brain, put it on a piece of paper. And from there, I will have everything super organized for you. You can do 2 things with it. You can either work with me and have my team build it out for you, or take this document and you can build it yourself, or you can go and find somebody else to build it. But anybody that's going to sit here and tell you that, it's going to cost $4,000 without having a document like this, they're completely bullshitting you and making it up. And I would be weary of working with them, because how would they even know what we haven't documented it. And I change my tone and my voice and kind of make them feel like, dude, you're an idiot for even going and thinking that you're going to spend $4,000 on this if you don't have this document. Now, if you showed me this document, okay, yeah, then if the guy told you it was $4,000 to build it, then okay, then that is $4,000. But if he's just talking to you on the phone, like, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I know how to do that. Yeah, I know how to do that. No, we have to be clear cut on what needs to be done for your business. And I charge $250 for that. It takes me and my team time, but you have two options. Either we work together or not. And that's it. I don't say anything else. And then they're either like, yeah, okay, or no. And the people that say no, I just saved myself a huge headache and a huge amount of follow-up. Hey, I just want to know, do you still want to move forward with this? Hey, I haven't heard back from you. Hey, blah, 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 blah. It's like, no, okay, see you later. If you ever need anything, I'm here. And they leave. And that happens to me sometimes. The other day, some girl came in, there was a coaching business, and she was asking me, like, can you build this? Can you do this? And I stopped her because she wanted me to work in a different way. She wanted to just do it right there on the screen. I'm like, no. Because what's going to happen is now I become married to her, and it's like she's telling me what to do. No one's going to tell me what to do. I tell them what to do because Adam and Brendan tell me what to do. And so if I were to go and work with her, she would have been like, oh, I need this done. I need this done. I need this. What about this? What about that? It's like, dude, if we had this document built out properly, there is no deviating from the plan. We both agreed that this is what it is, this is how it will be built, and this is what will be built. And now you can scale it and you can walk away and let Adam and Brendan do their thing and have them manage and operate everything while you're going out and getting more business. If you want to work with me, this is how I work. We have a 5 to 10 minute call. You sit down, you pay me $250 to build out this. And then from there, if you want, I'll give you a price, and it's $8,000, $4,000, $10,000, whatever dollars, my price. And then I go and I sell it to Adam and Brendan, and I walk away and I have nothing else to do anymore with it. Really. I mean, maybe I'll be on a call here and there, but like I'm out of it. I made my money, and then I make my monthly money on the monthly reoccurring, and then I'm on to the next client.
Don't you need to get their price first before you give the price back to the client to know how much it's going to cost?
That's what that first project scope document is. So yeah, so I send it to Adam and Brendan. They come back to me with their price, and then I go back to the client and say, okay, this is going to cost this amount.
You do that on a call, email? How do you?
I do it on a Zoom call. You've seen it. Like I go through the entire document and walk them through exactly what it is. And at the end, that's when I present the price.
So once you've got them on the second call, they've paid for your time, you're building out this project scope document with them, however long it takes. Then you schedule a third call, presumably. And in between that time, you take
that third call is me just going over the proposal.
With the price.
With the price.
On the third call.
And then the fourth call, if I have one, well, so that third call, they go over the price. Sometimes they got to think about it. They got to, they might give me pushback. I raise the price a little bit more, so I have a little bit of wiggle room to lower the price and make it look like I gave them a discount. Mm-hmm. And then after they decide to pay, the fourth call is me, Brendan, and the client, and I introduce them to Brendan. And Brendan does his thing, and he asks them, okay, look, we're going to go through this detailed project scope. I have everything that I need. I'm going to ask you some questions. And then he goes through the proposal document, and he breaks it down, and he adds a little bit extra pieces there. And then they get into like a ticketing system, and he manages the project, right? And I see the messages, but I don't have anything to do with any of that.
So if the client is like, yeah, our AI, it's saying this when people are talking to it, we need to change the prompt or whatever, they're not contacting you to do that.
No. Actually, I'm going to probably hire Dia to be my girl for all the support.
But wait, why would you hire Dia?
Well, when it's finished and delivered and done, Adam and Brendan and myself have nothing to do with it anymore. But if they want service, if they want somebody to be like a support representative for them, then I can just connect them with Dia to do all of that. So Dia can be their point of contact for, hey, I want this built. Now, let's say they want to make a funnel or they want to update something. Well, we go through the whole process again. It's okay, cool. I need to get a price. I don't know how much it's going to cost. You want a funnel, a calendar, and blah, blah, blah. Great. Let's, sit down, go through the whole process again. I'm going to ask you what you want, and then I'm going to present that back to Adam and Brendan and do that again. Now, if they want like someone to just update like custom values or whatever, they can just buy hours from Dia, right? So Dia will sell them in a package of like 20 hours a month, cost $300. So they get 20 hours worth of work inside their high level account for $300 or whatever it is.
Interesting. Again, I think I'm just like trying to put the pieces in my head. And like you said, getting stuck in the weeds about stuff that maybe I don't need to worry about instead of just focusing on the bigger picture.
Yeah, bro. Like I said, go and figure out which way works best for you, whether it's reaching out to people on LinkedIn, going into the YouTube comments, a cold email, a combination of a few. And when you get someone to book a call with you for the $150, have me on the call and I'll show you. I think I've shared with you a bunch of my first calls.
Yeah, I've watched a few of them.
Watch those. Maybe I haven't shared. I think I've shared at this point. I don't even know what I've shared. I just keep sharing. But like, watch my second call of me presenting the amount to them on the proposal that Adam and Brendan built. And even if you want me on that call, like, I'll help you with your first sale. Just tell me when it is. And honestly, like, depending on who it is, I can get an idea of like, okay, Adam and Brendan are going to charge $4,000 to build it. We're going to sell it for $7,500. I'll take $1,000 just for selling it, and then you walk away with $2,500, and then your monthly, $297 to use the AI or whatever. And once you get your first one and we go through the process together, I'll help you. And that way you'll have all the recordings and you can see the process. Like this, I just made this process up myself. I was like, the other thing is, bro, I have 15 years of sales experience. I've been doing this a long time and it's natural to me. It makes it, it sounds easy for me when other people see it like, oh, Nick makes it look so easy. It's not easy, bro. I mean, it's very difficult. When I first got my job and my boss was teaching me what I'm teaching you is like, I would get frustrated, bro. It took me like 2.5 years to really figure it out. And then there was this point, it just clicked. Like when I started learning Spanish, the same thing. It's like, there's this mental block and I'm like, why can't I speak Spanish? Why can't I sell? And then I don't know. Something clicked and I'm like, oh, now I can do it. And for the 10, 11 months that I was in this group with everybody, I struggled, bro, until I went to Los Angeles. What really clicked with me was, why the fuck am I building all this stuff? And Adam and Brendan have the entire team that I could just hand all this off to. Let me just go and sell this. Even though on the calls, they would say, we're your fractional development team. We can help you sell. We can do it all for you. It never clicked with me until I was in the room and I'm like, okay, I can do that easily. And since I left the room, I have $21,000 sitting in my Stripe account since we left LA. And I don't know, it just clicked. I was like, I just need to make this super simple. I'm trying to sell Go High Level. What if I just don't even talk about Go High Level and just figure out their problems and then just provide them with this solution? And it just so happens to be this system called Go High Level. Like, that's it. Ever since then, bro, yeah, dude, I'm on fucking 10 calls a week selling this. Like, when you need help, bro, I'm here and I can make it happen.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. I just put my mind in a different frame from this rest of this week. I just felt kind of aimless and not sure, like, what am I doing?
Dude, I've been there many times. Take a break. Go hang out this weekend. Don't even open the fucking computer and like sit down, run it through your head, go have some beers, hang out with your friends. I don't know if you play golf, if the weather's nice there, go do something and get away from it because it will eat you up inside. It did for a long time for me. And I had to kind of take a step back and be like, what the fuck am I doing?
Cool, man. Hey, really appreciate it, Nick. I'll be in touch.
Yeah, man.
Call. That's Ryan's.